Hello, welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily 2-card reading for Monday, May 20th, 2024. This week we are working with the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray. This is one of my favorite decks to work with when I'm looking for angelic guidance. It always feels very warm, welcoming. The answers feel spot on. The cards are gorgeous, as you will see when I flip them over. If you haven't seen any of the readings from earlier this week, please check them out and you will see the stunning artwork on here. The artwork on this deck is by Jennifer Hawkyard. I don't know if I can get in here enough where you can see that. The deck is by Kyle Gray. The information and the messages guided through, and then the artwork is by her. And this deck is gorgeous, and this artwork is gorgeous. So Kyle Gray is affiliated with Hay House, and so if you want to check him out, please do. He is the author of multiple books, multiple oracle decks. He teaches courses through Hay House. He is a motivational speaker, and he was quite young when he was open and blessed by this path that he's on. You know, he was seeing spirit guides and guardians, ancestors, from the time that he was quite young, age 4. And by the time he was in his mid-teens, he was seeing other people's guardian angels, and he started working as a channel for them, also doing card readings. He was quite young, and so he got the nickname Angel Boy. You know, he's a young man now, but he's no longer a teenager, married, has a couple kids, and he is quite an adult, but he is very youthful and vibrant in appearance. So if you ever check him out or have a chance to see anything he does, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by him and his energy. It's wonderful. So, as always, I open a circle of light. I just want you to see the back of these cards. I just think the energy is so vibrant and sunny. It kind of makes me think of May. You know, the sun is shining, the days are longer. This energy also this color makes me think of the sun, you know, like the solar flares that we've been getting that have been causing, at least where I'm at in the, northern United States, beautiful, beautiful, breathtaking northern lights at night. But that energy sometimes when the sun is doing that can be uncomfortable. We can feel restless. We can feel very tired but not sleep well. We can have headaches. Know that these things will pass and we will get through them and be better for it. But this is kind of what this energy is reminding me of. This card deck also has beautiful bright colors, which makes me think of the month of May. Vibrant, things are greening up, blossoming, birds are singing and building nests, flowers are blooming and blossoming, and things are growing. We're just at this beautiful early summer time period. And I think this card deck is the perfect complement to the time of year we are in. So as always, I open a circle of light and love and protection around myself in this reading, these readings, and that extends to everyone who watches these readings in the collective. I also ask my spirit guides and guardians to come in and help me be a clear channel for this information. I also use things like candles and crystals to help me draw in good energy and communication around these readings. And so I hope that all of these things help shine through and make this message clear for the collective. And as I am part of the collective, it's important to me as well, because these readings are just as much for me as they are for anyone else who is watching. One thing that Kyle says about this deck, or guardian angels in general, is he says we all have them. They're there with us all the time, but they have sort of rules that govern them for non-interference. So if we want help, we need to ask for help. Not necessarily specifics, like don't order up, I guess you can try to order up a lottery win, but that might not be in your best interest. They really want to work in what is in your best interest. They probably also won't deliver a cheeseburger and fries, but you never know. I've never asked them for a cheeseburger and fries. But one thing that he says with this card deck is that it's important to ask for help. And so he encourages before every reading with this deck for us to say this message. And I've modified it only slightly because it's written, as if I'm reading for myself. But since this is for the collective, we're reading for everybody here. Thank you, angels, for reminding us of your presence and for revealing to us what we need to know. We are willing to listen and receive. And so it is. And now we can look at our reading. So as always, I look at 2 cards. I look at the energy card, which is the force that's directed towards us from the universe, from our environment, from the world around us. And then the focus is our intention, our effort, our response that we put back into that energy. Because ultimately we are co-creating, right? Spirit gives us something and then we give spirit something and we kind of meet in the middle and make things happen. And that's a beautiful thing. So let's look at our energy card. All right. And then let's look at our focus card. All right. So this is kind of a shiny deck. Something I never noticed about a lot of these decks before I started recording them is how shiny they are. And I fought with that for several weeks. And frustrated with some of the decks because I felt like that wasn't helping the audience visualize the readings well. But I've come to look at this a little bit different. And when we get a shimmer or shine on a card, I now believe that there is a focus, or it's like a double down, and we need to pay attention to that energy. The light is guiding us and showing us that there's something special here. So let's take a look at our energy for today. We have cut the cords, and this is a really interesting card. Again, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This angelic being is here with this swirl of energy around. And if you can see, I don't know if I can get in close enough for you to see it, but the energy is like the stars, like the dark night universe, you know, with all this potential. But we need to cut the cords because sometimes we hold ourselves back by being afraid or unsure of making the next step or being confident enough in ourselves to take the next step, or just even to allow ourselves to trust that our dreams can come true, that things can get better. So we have the message here of cut the cords. Now let me find this in the guidebook. Just give me a second here. And I will read to you this message. And we do have just a very little glimmer of light in the corner of this card. So the message here is, if you are finding yourself hanging on in a situation you know is unhealthy or negative, angel wisdom is encouraging you to call upon the help you need to release yourself from it. Know that angels are guiding you to surrender the need to direct and control at this time, so you can welcome in the spiritual work that is available to you. When you ask your angels to support you in cutting the cords, they will help dissolve the connections that are hooking you into a negative situation. You have to do your part too by removing yourself from harmful or draining situations. If you are having questions regarding a situation, relationship, or outcome at this time, know that you are being guided to find a new way forward, as it will be more rewarding and replenishing for you. Ultimately, cutting the cord is an act of self-care and self-love. Well, this message certainly speaks to me. I think it speaks to everybody in ways. We all have things that we need to let go of or allow ourselves to release that can help us move forward. But sometimes it's so hard because we are afraid, because we're unsure of how things are going to be otherwise. If we do that act, are we going to lose people in our life that are important to us? These are all unforeseen, unknown things, but your angel guides are here telling you it's time to cut the cord. It's time to trust. It's time to release. And I say this as a person who has a hard time releasing. So I understand that this is difficult, and sometimes we fight it, because we do sometimes fight it. But this is our message today. Cut the cords. Allow ourselves to release and move on. So let's look at our focus card. So maybe that will help us understand how to work with this energy better. We have the Courage and Bravery card. This is a beautiful card. It's really weird, as I was flipping through this deck, just before I decided to use it for this week's readings, I kept coming upon this card. It was on the top. It was on the bottom. I would slide the deck open, and there she was. Now, these cards are all written, or the artwork is all designed to be sort of like asexual, not really feminine or masculine energies, just a combination of in the middle. But if this card reminds me of anybody, it is the idea of Joan of Arc. I don't know why, maybe because I was in New Orleans a week and a half ago, or maybe it's been 2 weeks, I can't even remember now, not quite. And there is a statue of Joan of Arc because she is associated with Orleans. She was from Orleans, France. And so, of course, New Orleans is named after Orleans, France. Anyways, there's a statue of Joan of Arc there. Of course, she was a person who was guided. She received messages from God that told her to do many wonderful things, which she did at quite a young age, also as a teenager. And she unfortunately lost her life because men felt, not just men, but the church really felt like what she was saying was heresy. And she unfortunately died. She was burned at the stake for her beliefs or her messages, but she was a person who had courage and bravery. So I was talking about how hard it is to cut the cords, to release. We have fear of what the other side is going to be like, fear of the unknown, fear of how our life might change. And of course, I believe solely in my heart and soul that these messages work together, that Spirit is definitely speaking to us through these messages. And we're getting this message today to cut the cord. And we know it's going to be hard. And the message here for us, how we work with this and our focus, our intention, our effort, our response is to find courage and bravery within ourselves. So let me find this card and I will read from the message in the book. It says here, your angels are here to remind you that your soul cannot be tarnished or harmed. This is the one part of your essence that always remains whole, healed, and complete. So if you are feeling the need to defend yourself at this time, angel wisdom is guiding you to back down. You don't need to protect yourself, especially when you have spiritual support. Call in the light of God, heaven, and angels to protect you. Again, as Kyle says, all we need to do is ask them for help. They will help us if we ask them. Back to the message here. If you feel that you have made a mistake or have something that you need to share, be brave and take ownership of it. Trust that living with integrity will always lead you to the greatest possible unfolding of your life, and know that the best gift that you can give the world at this time is your truth. So this message is a little bit maybe deeper than some of the messages we've had this week. And I know this reading has gone on a little bit too long, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to make them a little bit shorter and more concise, but I don't also want to take away from how important I believe this message is today. This is a message of cutting cords, freeing ourselves from something that's holding us down, tying us up, keeping us from moving forward in something very important in our life. And that energy that we need to put into this, the focus, the effort is to be courageous and to be brave. Courage and bravery to help us cut those cords. I don't know what that means in your life. I have a feeling I know what it means in my life, and it's hard sometimes to do those things, but trust that if you ask your angelic presences around you for help, they will be there to help you. So I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope you connected with it in some way. I would love to hear what you think about the reading or the card decks. Please like, please subscribe, please share. I'm so grateful to you all for being a part of these readings and supporting my channel. Again, thank you so much. My name is Stacy. Thank you for visiting Simply Liminal with me. Have a beautiful day.